listeners, and welcome to Spiritual Successor, a comedy video game design podcast where we take your lovely video game ideas and turn them into the next AAA video game titles. I have no depth perception right now, and I think I just bumped my mic a bunch. Hey Jay, how are you? Introduce yourself.
Hold on. How did you hit your mic up? Like, okay,
So-
you have no depth perception. Sure. I'm not gonna bite on that. What do you mean you hit your mic a bunch?
So,
Like,
okay.
You
Okay.
should have your hands by your side. We are podcasting. Maybe they're in your lap. I'll give you maybe they're like on the table, but the only way that you bump into your mic with no depth perception is if you're over there like shadow boxing while you talk. Like, do you talk with your hands while we podcast?
I don't talk. Well, I didn't bump my mic with my hands, if that's what you're insinuating. I may have bumped it with my face. So a little thing happened yesterday. You and I talked about it, AJ. I filled you in on it. Those who are longtime listeners of Spiritual Suck may remember half my face turned off on me for about a month and a half. I couldn't use the right side of my face, and it's kind of coming back. So what I have to do right now is, AJ, I'm blindfolded.
Okay.
I have no sight right now because I have to wear a mask that covers my face and it applies heat to my face. So I'm like doing this podcast blindfolded. And you know, initially I thought that was going to be a problem. I thought like, okay, am I going to get distracted or whatever? But then I thought about it. I'm like, AJ, what if like a Daredevil sense kicks in where like I'm blindfolded, but like every other sense of mine just suddenly is heightened and like I'm funnier. I got more game design energy in me. I'm just like, I'm like more in tune with what's going on. So
You're proposing the idea that by blindfolding yourself, you are more in tune with the universe, and you will be able to podcast better.
Either that or my face is pointed the wrong direction of the mic. So my audio could be I might have a heightened sense of talking.
These are both incredible possibilities, because what you are also admitting right now is that you, Blake Ray, the second you have a blindfold on, much like a baby, have no spatial consistency in your brain.
No,
you're proposing that you might be pointing in the wrong direction just because you have a blindfold on. You have zero spatial awareness.
No, I have no spatial awareness. I can only go off of like the sights and smells of the smells and noises of my room to kind of get a feeling of where I am. Okay, I just bumped the mic again with my nose.
Well, this is calibrating again to turn you into the podcasting Daredevil.
The podcasting Daredevil. Those who are new to the podcast, we take your lovely ideas from the internet, from email. We haven't gotten an email in a while. I'm a little bit. I think some people have forgotten.
No, that is because of our own negligence, because we don't check the email. Like, we could have gotten.
What are you talking about?
But,
I check the email before every recording, just in case like some fucking superstar game designer is like, oh, I'm gonna give them an official
you and I
email.
are both super negligent about the email, that's what I love, is that we're both super negligent about it, so that I don't, because I would feel bad if it was just me, but because it's both of us, I feel much better about it.
It is just you who does not check the email. Bet you
no,
don't even.
I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure.
I bet you don't even check our YouTube comments either. That's also an official channel where you can send game submissions.
That one's not an official channel, but I do check it, oddly enough.
Then that's an official channel. If you check that more than the other official channel of emailing.
No, because that's not for submissions. That's just for little cookie comments for me.
I feel like I've used submissions. Okay. I gotta lift one side of this mask. All right, so I'm Kakashi now using the Sharingan, which may even wow. You don't realize how sensitive your eye is until it's been blindfolded for a solid 10 minutes. AJ, we should get to some game design.
All right, yeah, let's do some game design.
All right, I'm incapacitated right now, so can you give maybe all of the submissions this week? Because I gotta protect my face. I gotta make sure the healing is going well.
No, that's true, and I should be an accommodating co-host, but
You're
fuck
not.
no. You're on this show, you're gonna do half the work. That's how it works around here.
AJ, I've pulled my weight for 100 episodes. Can I just be lazy one fucking time? Actually, hold on. If we're talking about people being lazy, I wanna put you on blast for a little bit. So AJ and I, we're real sharp every Sunday morning. He and I gonna record the podcast 10 to 10:30. I text him and he's like, hey, I'm ready. I text him and let him know, hey, I'm ready at 10 o'clock. Let's jump in. Let's do this. He's like, okay, 15 minutes. I just woke up. Then 15 minutes later pass, and I call him, and he's like, hey, man, I'm playing Sekiro right now. I'm like, AJ, did you just lie to me? Did you just tell me like you just woke up, but it turns out you've been playing Sekiro for the past 2 hours this morning?
That isn't what happened. I did take a shower, but then I messaged you that, you know what it was I messaged you that I was ready, and you took more than 2 minutes to respond, and I thought to myself, well, that's probably long enough for me to take on a Sekiro boss. So,
And did you make any progress? Was this a good use of your time?
I've gotten his attack patterns down. This boss, next time I play, this boss's ass is grass.
Okay, all right, AJ, give us the first submission. Kick it off.
Of course. Let me kick this bad boy off. This comes from Blue Bowser Stan account. This comes from Blue Bowser Stan account at Koopa Kirby. Dead by Daylight, but instead of survival horror and iconic slashers, it's physical comedy and players have mundane tasks to complete, and one player that plays as an iconic comedy character, like Mr. Bean, Chaplin's Tramp, The Mask, Inspector Clouseau, Pee Wee Herman, etc.
So, something just fell off my desk, and I have no way of knowing what it is. It's just gone forever. Okay. Going off the submission. Okay, so how does that work? Is it what I'm getting from that is that it's the comedy person is trying to do comedic shit to make the other people laugh, and that incapacitates them. But what are they trying to do? Like in Dead by Daylight, they're trying to.
I think it's less of them trying to like make them laugh and more of an objective oriented. They're trying to ruin everything. Think less murder and less player characters being put out of the game, and more of the infuriation of losing an objective to Pee Wee Herman talking to a sock puppet over there. I think that's what he does. I haven't seen Pee Wee Herman.
Could you try? Is one way of looking at this like Untitled Goose Game? Like the comedy person is doing all the little objective-based bullshit that the goose is, but then you just have other people trying to destroy those objectives.
Well, the other players are trying to do things like make a sandwich, cook lasagna, fix their car, and the comedy character is going to come over and they're like, oops, I turned the car on while you were working on it, and now there's gas all in here, and you're going to have to walk outside and cough, and you're all covered in smoke and ash, and it's very funny, and no one got hurt.
I don't necessarily know the game, and it's like, I'll be honest, like, I don't know if that sounds like a fun game. Like, it's like, okay, so one person's like doing...
Maybe we're coming at it from the wrong angle. Can you think of any, like, odd man out comedy movies that you might want to possess the body of? Maybe you want to be the titular character Bob from the hit film What About Bob? Perhaps you do want to play as the Mask,
I've never heard of that
titular
movie.
Character of the Mask.
Oh, the Mask! I've heard of that one, at least. Okay.
Perhaps you do want to play as Pee Wee Herman, the titular character from Pee Wee Herman. Or perhaps you even want to play as the spy, whose name I forget, that was the character in the Spy movie where he's like a loser spy. I want to say it's Johnny English, but that's all. That is right, but also not the one I'm reaching for.
Are you talking about Steve Carell in Get Smart?
I am thinking about Steve Carell from Get Smart. Thank you, Blake, for being in my brainscape. So yeah, we're thinking like, actually, you know what? Hold on. What if we did a spy game where you played as a Johnny English, Get Smart, Steve Carell type person?
And, like, people are trying to fuck up your investigation along the way. Like, I'm trying to figure out where does the verses come into this. Because, like, what immediate... Okay, but no, you're on to something here. So... I forget what game it was. I think it was Perfect Dark, but like I know we've talked about it before where like there's a 2-player mode where you can actually go through the campaign of the entire game while one person plays the main character and the other person plays all of the mini bosses they take along that they have to fight along the way, which is so fucking cool.
Like Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, that's a really fun concept. So, what if we did a thing similar to that where this is a 2-player game where one person is like the investigator and has to do a bunch of little objectives in the area, but the other person who is not highlighted on the main character's map. So like they could be impersonating a bunch of different people, are fucking up their investigation along the way. And I guess what I'm trying to figure out is like how much does we have the spy and the saboteur. So okay, so you have the main character and they're a spy and they're given a laundry list of items that they need to do. So like let's use there's that one game Spyfall or whatever where like you're one person's a sniper and the other player is the one like in the party trying to do all their little activities. It's kind of like that, but the player who's the sniper is also among that crowd, and they don't know which character model each other is. So they kind of just have to blend into the pathways of the AI that are taking place around the party, just to kind of like avoid
I
one
think
another.
that this game would be similar to that, except I think that the clown character, the saboteur, the Johnny English, the Steve Carell.
Could you
I think that they don't have any idea what the spy is trying to do. They just know they're trying to mess everything up. Everything that's possible, they're trying to mess up. They are the goose in the goose game.
Well, you know what would be kind of funny too if we played it to the opposite. What if like everything that the spy was trying to do, because if we're doing this from the angle of they're a comedy spy, like what's the common thing among that? They're always inept. They never really get the thing done right. So what if you can build a game around completing your tasks, but the tasks you always somewhat fail at them. So it's like, yeah, you got the statue, but then you fucking dropped it in front of everybody, or you made some sort of like a fiasco in front of everybody. And I'm trying to figure out if like you are rewarded for doing something like that, or the saboteur is trying to get you to fall into things like that. So like the spy is like totally straight edge, just like Mr. Serious spy, and then you have the saboteur, which is about just making them look like a fucking idiot or a goofball. So like let's just use an example. So this spy is here at this party because they're trying to get this statue that has like, you know, very
It's got crystal eyeballs. Yeah.
Well, the is it Maltese Falcon? Yeah, where there's like microfish in it that's, you know, has like secrets to the Nazis in it or something. And the other person swaps that out. So the film that's in it is like, I don't know, like just summer vacation pics or something. It's just like, it's like showing the spy like on a drunk vacation, and trying to figure out like, okay, then it becomes this kind of cat and mouse game of like the spy and the saboteur are going for the same
The spy is
statue for
actually
different
trying to
reasons.
steal the statue. The saboteur is trying to modify the statue.
Yes.
So the spy can get their objective done and they'll get points, but then they're like, awesome, I got the statue. Oh no, it's this guy in his underpants for 12 hours.
And then
could
could you do a game too where it's just like you and I were talking about Sekiro before we were recording, right? And I wonder if we could just hardcore lean into the homoerotic like rival situation. So it's like this is a game about two characters that are like opposing forces, but as the game goes on, like they become more and more aware of each other. And like that's just the story of the game. So I'm wondering if you can do like you and I are playing It Takes Two right now, and like I guess I just have like games that are about relationships on the brain because I'm also thinking about Haven, which is like another like popular game where it's like
no
a
one's
couple.
built a game that is about two characters at odds the whole time, right? Like every time people do co-op like story games, it's always about like the idea of those characters growing either together or apart, but you're constantly working together through the course of the game.
Oh, wait,
What you want to create is a game that is like that, except it is round after round going against each other.
Wait a second. I guess I have the best reference for this. Have you ever seen the music video for Genghis Khan?
I get a little bit Genghis Khan. That
Yeah,
one?
yeah. Have you ever seen the music video for that?
No.
It's exactly what you and I are talking about right now. It's as if they took the James Bond character, but there was just this mad sexual tension between them and the person that has them on the laser chair that's going to cut them in half. And it's just this whole like as the story evolves, it's just like them falling in love, and it's just like so weird that they took that angle, but it's also like super fun. I'm wondering
That's
if
a very
you could
fun angle.
I wonder if you could take a similar angle with this, where it's just like each time you load in, it's like it's the story about these two characters that are like trying to fuck with one another, or sorry, one of them's trying to do the job, and then our saboteur is just fucking with them, and then it's just like a story of those two people like
The
coming
saboteur is
together.
also trying to do their job. I don't think it's so much of like evil spy versus like sabotaging spy. I think it's a story about like John Wick versus Pee Wee Herman. they're both on a mission. They
Yeah.
just happen to be like for the same goals, just for different agencies. I think this is kind of also the story of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, if I remember that movie at all correctly.
Yeah, where it's like two spies that were like, I guess, married to each other because it was an undercover thing. But then the moment they found
Yeah.
out that they were from opposing agencies, then they truly fell in love, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know, that
but,
movie's
but
a little
the,
bit gray.
The idea was that they were two different agencies that were getting the same missions that they were then competing over.
Okay, how do we lean in? So is the
So
other
you load
ones...
into a mission and it's
well, do we look at-
007.
do we look at it this way where it's like the opposing agencies are for different reasons? Like one agency is like MI6, where it is like a legit spy organization, while the other one maybe, let's say, is an underground thing where they're not like a full like official organization, but they are doing something like to either rebel or, you know, trying to do sabotage because they're trying to fuck with people that the spy person is trying to steal from. It's not that they are.
I see what you mean. Like
it's
one is sanctioned by the government. The other is a group of ragtag ex-criminals trying to do good in the world.
Yes, and I think it's not necessarily that they have different belief systems or like they're coming at it from like different angles. It's just like their targets are the same, just for different reasons. Like the spy.
Then here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing I want to nail out, and then we'll put a pin in it and move on.
Uh-huh.
Who does Pee Wee Herman work for? Who does Tom Clancy work for?
I mean, like I feel like we kind of nailed that out. Like one is quote the government, and the other one is like a guerrilla faction.
So which is which? Which
Oh,
one is the guy
I feel
character, and which
like-
one is our Tom Clancy?
I feel like we should just lean into those tropes of like, okay, if it's a company man, like they are like straight edged, wears a suit, very like, you know, just like straight faced sort of character, and then our guerrilla guy is like just like has that ragtag rebel energy. I feel like if you just lean into those tropes,
Our What About Bob is employed by the X group of ragtag criminals, and our I'm running out of spies. Who the fuck?
007.
Tom Hanks? Who the hell is the guy? You referenced 007. Who's the guy in Mission Impossible? Do we know his name? No, Jason Bourne. So we got Jason Bourne working for the government, and we've got What About Bob working for the ex-criminal organization. I think that's all the spy movies I'm going to be able to reference, so I want to put a pin in this and move on.
Yeah, actually, you know, it would also be like I want to move on, but I don't. Do you know The Man from U.N.C.L.E., like that TV series / movie? This is a lot
No.
like that, but just like it's not opposing government. It's like it was like a TV series back in the 60s or 70s where it's like you have one spy from America and another spy from Russia, and they come together and they're like best friends, but also like, you know, rivals, and they both love this one woman. It was like Cold War era like TV. But it's something similar to that, but whatever. Let's put a pin in this. It's my turn to do a submission. Let me unmask myself so I can look at my phone. Nobody cared who I was.
Much like
until I took off
Kakashi,
this
you have
mask.
revealed your second eyeball, and you've become even more powerful. You can
quick,
you can now copy and clone anybody else's cool techniques.
Actually, AJ,
You
I'm
can-
Kakashi. I'm Kakashi before he like had to kill his best friend and take his Sharingan. AJ,
Oh, so you're just like a boring guy that always has both of his eyeballs out.
I mean, yeah, I have both my eyeballs out right now, but like AJ, I gotta take that Sharingan from you one day, and then you're gonna come back and like, cause doesn't that guy come back and want to kill Kakashi so he can get his eye back or something?
I'm not gonna give late game Naruto spoilers, all right?
It's been out forever. We are literally in the next generation of Naruto. Spoiler territory is
Look,
out the door. We're in
I
Boruto
can't,
town now.
in good conscience, spoil the late game moments of Naruto on our comedy podcast.
Hey, legit. If you're thinking about watching Naruto, just watch the tuning exams. That's all you need to watch. That's the best content of Naruto.
The Great Ninja War arc fucking rips. What do you mean that's all you need to watch?
Nah, man. You could read this plot summary like I did on Wikipedia. You don't need anything else. You just need to watch Rock Lee drop his weights, and that's it.
Okay, look, if somebody's looking for like a shortened version of the story of Naruto, sit down and play the Naruto Ninja Storm games because those games rip.
Way to bring it back to video games.
I don't know why, but they really sat down and they said, let's make the coolest versions of Naruto possible. And the moments in that game are so good. In one of them, you're doing one of the reunion fights between Naruto and Sasuke because they're homoerotic rival characters. And, like, as you're doing the fight, the game will randomly flash in the middle of the fight, and your character will change from being, you'll be fighting as, like, a grown adult Naruto. The screen will flash, and you will then be controlling little boy Naruto as you're fighting Sasuke. It's so dope. Those games rule, and I don't know why they decided to do that.
So actually leaning into, because I feel like you and I have a theme this week of just homoerotic rivals, I want to pitch you a new game. So, this will come to us this summer is going to be hot intro. Oh man, I cut it off. At Dust in Your Eyes, a parkour stealth game centered around not getting noticed or caught while vandalizing various world landmarks with comically oversized googly eyes. AJ, this is Banksy versus a private investigator or some sort of investigator while it trying to nail down who Banksy is. So Banksy is going around. It's
Banksy versus versus a city organizer.
Yes, exactly. So I'm wondering if we can do this sort of like, oh fuck, you know what actually this is basically? This is fucking BRINK, because like the whole concept of BRINK was like you had these underground like rebels trying to get off of this island, and they basically decided to do free running as a way of taking on the police. And rather than the police being like, you know, oh fuck, we can't take these guys out, the police were like, oh, I guess we got a free run now, and it just became this fucking free running gunfighting game, and it was so
cool game. It's a shame that game was an utter flop because I really did enjoy playing that.
The world building of that game was super fun, and like the concept
the art style was so fun too.
Oh yeah, it was like that just sweet like bold line comic booky sort of vibe, and everything. It's just like the textures of it were really cool. The
proportions on all the characters were so long and like stretched and cartoony. BRINK, a game that if it had matchmaking, we would be in a different timeline.
How weird that they didn't do that, right? Isn't that just like, it was so fucking perfect? And like it felt like it could have been how Titanfall is now, where it's just like a bunch of people shooting guns, free running, and like just trying to beat the crap out of each other. It has like some sort of like cult following
that people really still adore. Yeah, the problem with BRINK was, of course, that it didn't, because it was launched without matchmaking. This game was a complete failure.
Yeah, absolutely, totally, absolutely. So coming back to what we're talking about though, is we have our Banksy character, who mirrors Edge style. We have this open world with a big city, and you are given like jobs. So being like, okay, you're gonna go do this piece of art on this bank building, and it's supposed to like basically be as Banksy does it, it's like some sort of, you know, critiquing on whatever's going on in culture right now. Then you have this police officer or this city investigator. Maybe we lean away towards police because I'm just like, I feel like
I want it to be a city planner, just somebody that like has been like the city has come to them and been like, hey, we're looking to expand our town. We're looking to like enhance our like art. We're looking to do some.
Wait a second. What if
paid art?
Let me throw a curveball at you. What if this is like we go away, just completely lean away from like authoritarian figures, like people of power? What if, like, if I'm picturing Banksy, what if I'm the person who designed the building that he tagged up? What if, like, I designed this building that I'm so fucking proud of, that I'm so, like, this was my art, and this person thinks they can make my art better by putting their fucking spray paint on it?
You made this incredible art thing, and then this guy came around, and he was like, check this out. It's the Statue of Liberty, except now it's got a big butt and a gun. And it's smoking 2 cigars.
And it's got a gold tooth and all this.
Does that say something about you, America? Wake the fuck up, sheep.
Wait the fuck up, samurai. We got a fucking city to burn. That has that energy to me. Fucking Keanu Reeves is like the Banksy of this world. Um, so, but you see what I'm cooking there, where it's like this. I feel like it could definitely lean into that conversation of like, there's again for some reason there's still this conversation of like, is graffiti art? And like for some people it is, but for others it's just like, no, it's just like it's just like fucking, it was done by the street, so how can it be art?
Yeah, but okay, what does the game actually play like though? And I think that you have something cool with the like throwing in like the movement system from Brink or from Mirror's Edge maybe would feel a little bit nicer. But I kind of want to do, maybe it's like a push and pull, or maybe like a collectathon thing. I'm trying to imagine, how do we actually build this competition? And my immediate go-to is a game like Jet Set Radio or Tony Hawk. A game, which Jet Set Radio is a collectathon game, if I understand it correctly. It's a game that I've only gotten through the music, really. But can we do this as a collectathon, where maybe the characters have to run around, Pac-Man, maybe. The characters have to run around and they grab little pellets or little MacGuffins. And then when they get those MacGuffins, they can come to a big spot and deposit them. For the spray painter, maybe they're running around gathering up spray paint, and they get to a zone and they can spray paint up.
That's
like,
exactly.
They
get
some
enough
sort of
spray paint
Banksy
cans
piece of
to...
art. Yeah, and then they go ahead and do like a big McDonald's, except it's wearing a big crown on it, and they're like, "Look, who's the real ruler?" underneath it in text, like, so like. Just like some like hardcore low concept anti-capitalist stuff. Like, they're right, but like the idea that this person's putting it up there, like, this'll fucking wake people up. Now they'll understand the real reality of it. McDonald's is president.
No, actually, AJ, this is how we make this game all the more interesting. Is that when you get into the point where you can graffiti something, like you've collected enough, MacGuffins, like enough spray paint cans or, whatever to do your heist or your spray painting thing, it goes into a mini game where you can actually draw what you want. So like that way it becomes way more personable, where it's not like you're you can post up whatever
Blake,
the fuck you want.
People are just gonna put dicks on the wall, right?
Bro, like that's the number one way to get a person invested.
It's gonna look like Michael. It's gonna look like the great artist Michelangelo was in this game, with how many dicks are on the walls and ceilings.
It's gonna be so funny. We released the trailer and it's gonna like show all of these beautiful pieces of art we've made in studio, and then we're gonna go, then somebody's gonna do their like day one like gameplay release, and it's just they're strolling through town. It's just nothing but buildings covered in dicks, like poorly drawn, like just penises. It's just like it just looks like it was like definitely one of those trailers like where it's like they definitely did some some touch-ups to make it look better than it really is in game.
And so our other player is running around trying to grab like mega soap and water, and those collectibles are used to clean up the walls after the spray painter hit them. I guess it plays a little bit like Splatoon. I'm not entirely certain how we can make our city planner claim a location.
I'm wondering, okay, let's just kind of go into, let's like look at Rockstar, because I think they do really good like open world sort of like multiplayer games. What if this was like GTA Online, just as an example? So
just increase the scope. Okay, bigger.
Just increase the scope where it's like a bigger, like let's say this is like our version of Los Angeles. This is like Neo Los Angeles, where it's very, I guess we could go like the Mirror's Edge sort of aesthetic, where everything's very stark white. That way it would make all of the art pop, and it would give like a reason for this art to exist. So I'm wondering if we could do a thing where this is like an open world where it's not just two people, like it's not just two opposing people. There are two different factions. So you have the Banksy group, where it's just a bunch of people trying to do graffiti. And I'm wondering if, going back to GTA, it's powered by, I've never played GTA Online, I just kind of got it through osmosis. It's you can get together with your friends and do heists. So I'm wondering if you can do like hits or like graffiti hits by yourself, but the more people you have in your group, the bigger piece of art you can make and more of an impact.
I think I'm more interested in just the one-on-one dick butt and dick butt erasure game than I am this like grand scale constant Splatoon.
Okay. So how does that, is that just something where could you do a thing where it is this is like, I guess what I'm trying to figure out is this online or is this couch co-op? Like this is something where you and I purposely need to log into this game at the same time.
You need to purposefully log into this game at the same time. Maybe it isn't like maybe it's like a matchmaking game and we take a straw from the first Titanfall game. And I guess honestly to wrap it around, the first Brink, I say first like we're ever going to get a Brink 2. No. Where the game is set up in a way where when you launch the game, it will be matchmaking, but you will be doing levels in chronological order. This was how the first Titanfall did it. So you would do level 1 against another player. You would go through, there'd be a winner and a loser, and then you would play level 2. And level 2 would go through and you'd have a winner and a loser, and so on and so forth. This would probably only be like maybe a 6-hour game tops of this little collectathon. Maybe it's like a collectathon and hide and seek game where the painter can run around and they collect enough spray cans and they then go and they paint something, but they're hiding where they want to paint it. The street cleaner then has to run around and find it and erase it.
Could this, I wonder if we could do some sort of like hunt showdown thing where like both parties don't necessarily know where the end goal is and they have to do a bunch of like little tracking to get to that point. So like I know you haven't played Hunt, but what you got to do is to fight the big monster that everybody else on the server is there to hunt. You have to get to certain locations that that have their own mini bosses that you have to kill, and then you can like scan this little nest or these footsteps or whatever that'll take you one step closer to where you want to go. So I'm thinking like as the street cleaner or whatever, or the architect or whatever faction we decide to go with there, they are following clues to when the next like graffiti hit's gonna be. And I guess but then what is the street cleaner going to do if they arrive at that location before the other people? I guess
they can put a fresh coat of paint on it. If the city planner gets there before the spray painter, they can throw up their own fresh coat of white paint, and then it's a wet wall. And you can't paint on a wet wall, I don't think. I don't know how spray paint works, but I imagine if it's wet paint,
you totally can spray paint over a wet wall. It'll just like be a little bit.
In this world, you can't. Because we need to make sure that our city planner has a way to beat our spray painter to the objectives.
Well, I was wondering if you can actually go into, and this might lean a little bit too much into Splatoon, but I'm wondering what would happen if you introduced an element of combat to this game. Where there is like, I'm not talking like you're armed with guns or whatever.
There's no violence.
Well, I'm wondering you could do something where it is I'm trying to figure out like how you can make this game. It's fun to play both parties, because right now I bet you it feels more fun to play the graffiti artist than it is to play
because you get to draw dick. But other than that, it is the same game.
No, I mean you can't draw dick butt. Like I'm trying to figure out like how we can do this to where would this be more fun if it was opposing street artists trying to get to the same location and there are AI running around the city trying to catch you? Would it be more fun because there's still the competition element there? And
okay,
that way
so
it's
you're
like
two graffiti artists competing for the same little collectibles. You use those collectibles to then spray paint on objectives that are thrown out randomly in the game.
Yes,
so the push and pull is you're running around the city trying to collect everything. The hit pops up, and whoever is closer or a better like runner is going to get there first.
Yes, and how how you collect the points? Fucking super lean into the flow aspect of parkour. So the bigger chains of tricks you pull off and the bigger flow that you have while doing your parkour, the more like energy you build up. So it'll basically spawn little paint cans as you go down various like pathways, and like, oh, you combined
But
a
the
wall
more
run with the
combos
fucking
you can
chain.
hit, much
Yes.
like what was that game? Sunset Overdrive. The more
Yes.
combos you're able to hit, the faster your character is going to be running and moving.
Yes, exactly. And that way
so we
that way
have a skill, so that a skilled player can close that gap to the objective faster than an unskilled player, even if the gaps are like different size. I love that. Yes.
So basically, and I'm wondering if you can do a thing where like, okay, the person you're opposing, they could be interrupted by the city planners or whoever's trying to like stop you from doing this shit. They get caught up, and the other person is able to get forward and get enough paint to do the first location. I think then somewhere on the map, like Battle Royale style, they are just being like, oh, this is where the new location you got to go to is. So like this game isn't just competing for the one spray paint to spot, or one
It's
spot to spray
competing
paint.
for points over the course of the 15-minute match. Yeah, that rules.
Yes.
Okay,
And
let's put a pin
is
in
this
this
like
and give another game.
okay? All right, you got another game for me?
Of course I do. This comes from Eddie Feely at Eddie419, a game that starts as an open world game, but you need to actively make it more linear.
Oh, okay. That immediately screams destruction to me. Like
It does scream destruction to me. What I'm imagining is a game that, like, you know how, like, the first part of Fallout, was it Fallout 3, you're given a mission very early on of a small town. It's not a small town, it's a big town that just has a big nuclear bomb in the center of it. And about 4 hours into the game, you're given a mission by some rich guy that says, hey, set that bomb off, because I'm evil and rich. And
it's very
you do,
Fallout 3-esque.
if you, yeah. So if you do that, you lose access to all of the missions in that game. Or in that town, because everyone in it died
okay.
because you set off a nuclear bomb in it.
So,
What if we could set up a game that is like that? A game that is open world and has like a million different little missions that you can do. But if you find the big missions, you can just get rid of all of those stupid little tiny missions that no one cares about.
So I guess like the end goal is what that immediately tells me is we have a character that just doesn't want to fucking do anything, and their whole goal is it's like very very much like a actually no Travis Touchdown's kind of motivated. He definitely wants to be the #1 assassin. But you have just
I'm imagining a game that's a little bit more like you are the chosen one, and everyone knows that you're the chosen one, so they have a million requests for you. And you're like, no, I'm the chosen one. I'm just here to like kill the Demon King and then get out because this sucks. I hate it here. Please stop asking me to go round up your chickens for you.
I feel it would be funnier to have a reluctant chosen one, because it'd be like
Yes,
knowing
exactly.
this character who's like, I am the chosen one. I acknowledge that, but I don't fucking feel like doing it, dude. I don't give a shit. So it basically they try like one of my favorite tropes is like characters who are like considered lazy, but they go through more effort to avoid shit than the work it would actually cost to just do that shit. So I'm wondering if this is a story about a character who's like at the beginning of the game, you are given every side quest, everything up front. And your goal is and if you do any of these side quests, you actually, I guess it negatively impacts your game. So it'll be, I wonder if there's like a feeling of you complete a side quest and 2 more spawn in its place. So it's just this feeling of like it is
Here's what it is. You are the chosen one. I love this idea of you are given like a million quests right off the beginning. And if you do one of those quests and you do the wrong quest, more quests come up. So think of it as in like you have a million quests. You see one of these quests, recover a knife for so-and-so. And you're like, all right, let me just go grab that one. Let's start at the top of the list and, knock our way down. You get that knife back and you return it to the owner. You then get 3 quests afterwards. There's been a murder with a knife, find a victim. So-and-so needs their knife sharpened. and so lost their knife again. It needs to be found. Like you get those 3 quests, and you're just like, oh my god, this sucks.
You know what
But
this would work as? This feels like...
here's where the catch is.
Okay, go ahead.
There will be some missions in this thing where if you do that one mission, it will knock out a bunch of quests.
Yes.
So
you
for
just
example,
don't know which ones those are.
You just don't know which ones those are. Maybe there's like 8 missions. There's 8 missions in your village about people that are like, I lost this and I can't find this and all my chickens got away and I need help gathering the sheep. But then you find there's one mission where there's this guy that's like, hey, I'm a dog breeder. I need you to deliver a dog to our village so that I can breed my cool shepherd dog and get shepherd dog puppies. And if you do that mission, then like 8 dogs will spawn in your village, and those are herding dogs, which will help people find things they lost. They'll help keep the animals in check. And like you see like 25 quests that you would have had to do are all knocked out by the dogs that you've spawned in.
Okay,
because you
I
helped
like
the breeder
this
get a dog
butterfly
in town.
effect of like slowly maneuvering it down. That way you can kind of figure out what the fuck you were meant to do. You know what this feels like? Like story-wise, I think how this would work is like what would happen if you teleported into Skyrim like 2/3 of the way through the game. So it'll be like, but you have no memory of those previous 2/3. So it's like your main character lost their memory or something like that, and they just suddenly wake up and they're like, I have a heavy pocketbook full of like things that they had on their docket. They don't remember what their core quest. They don't. That way it would explain like they don't remember what their core quest is. So it's like it's them trying to go do all of these little things to figure out what they were up to before they lost their memory. And that's kind of how the story goes. Because it's like, I guess when you're trying to trace your tracks, you gotta like cut off all of the chafe, which is these side quests, to get back to like, oh, you know, like you were mentioning fighting the Demon King or whatever. It's like, oh, that's what I gotta get back to. But there are so many quests in that little like sub menu that you literally have no idea what the next step in the quest is. Because any one of them could be it. So you gotta like, okay, fuck, what... You kind of have to look at these things and try and just guesstimate, like, through trial and error, obviously, like, what quest will knock a bunch of them out for you. And then it's just like this game of, like, give and take of, like, okay, that quest obviously
it's
spawned
not
3 more
just
things.
like through trial and error. I think there's also a lot of logic to it, right? Like, of course, getting a shepherd dog in town would fix all of the shepherd quest problems.
And you know what also would kind of help you nail it down is like all of the quests are divided or like into little smaller sections by city. So like these are all the quests that take place in this city. So that way you can kind of look at a group of things and be like, okay, which one of these would most likely fix the rest of them? And that way
then
you
you
can
notice
kind of
like 1 or 2 villages have a quest line of like you were like, hey, this person needs help establishing a trade route, and then you notice that like if you do that quest, then like 40 delivery quests will be taken care of because there's there's like a trade route built now.
Yeah. Totally.
I think that this game is like equal parts run around and talk to people, and there will be a combat system because I think that there will still need to be a combat system, but the majority of this game is sitting down looking at folders after folders after folders, logs after logs after logs, trying to find out how things connect so that you can create a big combo of quests to all proc each other.
All while trying to like find out more about yourself. So like that motivates like going to different towns and like talking to people and being like, and then everybody's fucking cryptic with you, obviously, of like, yeah, I can tell you a little bit more about yourself, but you have to solve all these problems around town.
What if
what
if we took the angle that like isekais do, right? Like I died and got reincarnated as the hero of legend, but they were distracted by all the side quests.
And then they just basically out of the gate like, oh, you're the hero of legend. Here's like a fucking book of everything I need done that only you, the chosen one, can do. You open the book and it's like, collect all of these sheep. And be like, really? You had to leave that for the chosen one of time? What the fuck?
The chosen hero of time has to go collect all of your goddamn sheep. This can be done by like a shepherd. Y'all, I can just hire a shepherd for you. Does the town not have a shepherd? Fire the shepherd. He sucks shit.
You know, it'd be so fucking funny too, just to really lean into that overwhelming nature of this game. Because like, I don't know about you, but when I'm playing like a Fallout game, and like I just go into a city and I suddenly everybody I talk to just gives me a new quest. Like throughout
Ah.
dialogue trees, it spawns new quests. So it'll be like you like just going back to what you were just saying, where it's like
Oh, like
where
you're
they're like,
talking to somebody, and like every 2 lines, that like a little notification will pop up. Oh, so and so quest available. So and
well,
so
no,
quest
more.
available.
No, more over this, more over this. So it'll be like, depending on what you say in the dialogue, it could just spawn a new quest. So it'll be like,
Yes.
the person just lets you know, like, yeah, we have all of our sheep, and if you respond with like, I could have fucking hired a shepherd to do that, and then a new quest comes up, hire a shepherd. And just like just dumb shit like that. It's just overwhelmingly pointless shit that can be done if you wanted to do it, but it's like it's so fucking unneeded. Like you can do some quest that just solves all of these damn problems. That way you can get back to
Mhm.
what you're doing. Like you're there in the town to find out about like, okay, find out about yourself, or find out about like, why do
You're
I have
there
this
to find out
mystical
about
weapon with
yourself.
me?
You have a shadow medallion in your
Hmm.
inventory, and you're like, I
Hmm.
need to find someone to tell me about the shadow medallion.
Yeah.
And like you go into the town because this is your lead for the shadow medallion, but then you get into the town and they're like, the town shopkeep has 18 cursed items that need to be
Hmm.
handled. And you're like,
Hmm.
jeez.
You know what this feels a lot like? I'm only going off of like the trailers and like the behind the scenes stuff they talk about, but this feels a lot like Deathloop, where it's like you kind of have to figure out how all of the pieces fit together. That way you can
Yes.
successfully do the run. Because like with
I
for
think
those that don't know, oh, go ahead.
I think at its core what this game is we want to find a way around all of the pointless side quests of games like Horizon or Assassin's Creed nowadays or
Hmm.
Skyrim. Like this
Or
game,
fucking
this
what's
is a
that one
game where like
game? The samurai game, that Ghost of Tsushima, where all the side quests are kind of pointless.
Ghost of Tsushima didn't. Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima had a lot of pointless side quests, though there weren't an overwhelming number of them. Admittedly,
Really?
they
Oh,
were
really?
all
I thought
almost.
it was chock full of them.
No, there. Nah, they. It didn't feel overwhelming. There were a
Hmm.
lot of garbage quests, though. A lot of shit that you didn't need to do because it was like, there's a ghost of demons down the hill, and you think to yourself, oh, fuck yeah, some demons. And then you get down there and there's like 4 bandits, so you kill them super quick, and then you have to walk all the way back up to talk to the dude in the
I
little
was
boathouse.
expecting demons like Sekiro.
I was hoping for demons.
That could be fun. Actually, no, wait,
This
why
game
don't
is
no,
an
wait, why do we
answer
lean
to
into that?
This is the reverse of the. This is the character trying to destroy the Ubisoftification of open world games.
Well,
You
what
don't
if
care about all of these points of interest. You
would it
only care
actually
about
be
the ones that are
funnier to
going to
do
push
that
your
though?
story forward.
Wait, no, hold on a second. Would it be funnier to constantly offer side quests that sound great on paper? So like if we lean into that Ghost of Tsushima thing of like, there are some demons down by the river, and then you show up and it's just a pointless fucking side quest. So I'm wondering if like if you look at all these side quests and your immediate reactions, like if I'm booting up this game and I have like all of these side quests that have really fucking cool descriptors, you know, like fight these demons, like go slay the fire thing over yonder, or like go grab the last of the shadow jewels to, you know, to gain visions of the future or something. Just stuff that like immediately grabs your attention, like, whoa, that's awesome. And then you find out all this shit is just poetic bullshit prose to explain very dumb things. Like, go
I got
tame
it.
the. Yeah, go ahead.
So what it is we have our system in place where like if you do the right quests, then they will knock out quests that you don't need to do. I think that there's a follow-up. There will be some quests that all have quest lines, and some of those quest lines will end in something. So for the example of like there are demons somewhere that need to be killed. There's like a quest line that like actual quest line is stuff like meet a farmer, help him grow his fields, help him investigate why some things have gone missing, help him investigate the bandits that are stealing his food. There are demons out there. We need to go take care of those demons. That's the full
Yeah.
quest line.
Yeah.
But there's like 18 different quest lines like that, and his is the only one that ends with there are actual bona fide demons that need to be taken care of. And so let's start from the beginning. Like you get a quest somewhere in the thing of establish or like hire on a town's guard. And if you do that quest, then it's going to knock down a bunch of those quests for you, but then quests will pop up, and there will be one specialty quest that says, hunt the demons. And because you, like, set up trade routes so the farmers aren't necessarily needed, or the farmers are already taken care of, you've hired a town's guard so that they can investigate when things go missing anyway. You've automatically knocked out all the quests that would normally need to be done before go kill the demons.
So
and
is
so
there...
now there's 600 quests that are loaded into the game automatically. There's 100 quests of you, the player, actually doing anything. Those quests can't be missed because they will be forwarded to you specifically, and they will say, we need the hero of time to take care of the demons.
Interesting. Okay, I like this. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I think we need to decide on our nug, though, because we're getting towards the end of the episode. All right, so what are you feeling? Because I'm thinking it's either this one, or I'm also really, like, hyped about our graffiti game.
I think I want it to be this game just because I think I love the idea of our name.
Of just, like, absolutely overloading the
yeah,
player.
I think I want to do, like, an absolutely overloading name. See, what's crazy is when I first saw this submission and I thought of a game that, like, the whole purpose is to remove things from the world so that it's a linear game. I thought of a game that I thought was like that, like, 10 years ago, which was the game The World Ends With You. Which, that's not what that game is about at all.
Yeah.
But the sentence, the world ends with you, is what I imagined it to be. But what can we create as our incredibly long name that we don't need for this game? Is it as simple as, I was reincarnated as the hero of time, and now I need to get... I was reincarnated as the hero of rhyme, but the last one was too distracted with all the side quests? Do we take a name like that?
I was reincarnated into a side quest adventure. Isekai. Here, I'm gonna look up some Isekai anime names.
Yeah, look up some.
Oh, dude, there's Isekai name generator.
Names.
Wait a second, there's Isekai name generators. Oh, hold on. I gotta fucking look at this because this sounds super fun. Okay, hold on. Somebody on Reddit. Thank you, Paulo from Reddit. Two wishes left. I always wished for Gilbert Gottfried, but the genie gave me a smartphone instead. I was summoned as a dog while I was watching Spider-Man 2, and my main goal is to return feminism to the world? Question mark. So it seems like we need to, like, do the opening thing and then, like, hold on a second. I died while reading an isekai novel and was reincarnated as a sentient crown in a world where character development doesn't exist. Wow, these names are just fucking wild. Okay, so I think the reincarnated thing, I died and got reincarnated as...
What if we did... Hold on, I'm working out something. I'm typing it all up right now. And then I'll ask you how it hits you when I'm done with it.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. How do we feel about, I was summoned as the replacement chosen hero, but the last one was too distracted by the side quests? Or perhaps because the last one was too distracted by the side quests?
Let
me hit you with that one again. I was summoned as the replacement chosen hero because the last one was too distracted by the side quests.
Okay, oh god, we're gonna piss off some people if we have such a long fucking name.
No, because the name for this episode on the podcast catcher will just be the acronym for it.
Oh,
IWSATRCHBTLOWTDBTSQ.
All right, quickly, what is that in one word?
I'd have to type that up. Hold on.
Type it up. We got the power editing, boyo. Also, I'm seeing, I'm looking at a list of the best isekai ever, and I'm seeing that the saga of Tanya the Evil is like number 4 on that list, and I don't know.
Isn't that the one where they get reincarnated as a Nazi?
Yeah, that's the one where she gets reincarnated as a little Nazi girl. And then also,
so the name of this game, by the way, the name of this game is going to be IWSATRCHBTLOWTDBTSQ. Oh wow, I can't even deal with the pronunciation of that one. You know what? Let me just copy it and I'll drop it in chat really quick.
All right,
I've dropped the name in chat.
God.
Can you go ahead and hit me with that?
There's that many words in this title?
Yeah, I was summoned as the replacement hero, but the last one got too distracted by all the side quests.
Oh god, it looks like you keyboard smashed. Poor fucking what the fuck? IWSATRCHBTLOWTDBTSQ. Can't say that.
So
Can't say
that's
that
our game. Are we really happy with it?
I'm happy with it. Is there boss fights in this, or is this like just kind of is what it is? I think it is what it is. I don't know if there's boss fights for something like this game.
Well, there are boss fights because, as I mentioned, there are 600, maybe 700, maybe even 800 actual quests. You know what? If they're like half of them are fetch quests anyway and like trade route things, like we can go ahead and load it up with 1,000 quests in this game.
Fuck.
I looked it up. Skyrim has 279, so we can beat that.
279 quests? Holy shit!
Yeah, in Skyrim. Yeah, that's it. That's nothing. Our game
so
has
many
1,000 quests.
That's so many fucking quests. Okay.
Ours has 1,000 quests. Of course, though, they will all be built in on the back end of, like, you know, you only have to do a certain amount of them, and a lot of them will knock each other out, so you don't need to knock down all of the quests. But a lot of the game is just maintenance, finding out what quests you need to do when.
Okay. And it's a game,
but,
dude.
like I said, there will be about 100 actual quests, things that actually need to be taken care of by the hero of time. And that is where we can find our boss fights.
Okay. I'm seeing one that I'm actually really fucking stoked for. So they sent us like a statue of a dragon made of like black and yellow fire, and it's called Guy Fierdon. So
this is incredible.
See, actually,
Alex suggests the protagonist from the previous game.
Our previous game was...
Well, not even... Does it need to be the previous game we made? Or could the boss be the actual... Like, one of the bosses be the protagonist that you have been summoned to replace?
Oh, like they're the person... Maybe they're the person that summoned you to this world because they got fucking overwhelmed by all of these quests.
The city summoned a new hero. The old hero was replaced. The ancient wizards came together and they said, the old hero isn't doing the job. We need to hire a new one. And so they bring you on. And you're an action hero that has now been like, you know, you've been taking care of actual things. You're only doing the quests that are needed to be done by the hero. But then you meet the old hero, somebody that was like a person of the people that did every side quest imaginable. And so while they didn't do the good side quests, they certainly did a shit ton of them. So maybe the old hero is like a secret boss that you meet that just has like just an infinite amount of consumable items, right? Like every time like you meet the boss and you think to yourself, this will be an easy boss. Their health pool is so small. But then like every like second attack that this boss does, they drink a health potion. Then like you get through like the first phase of the boss, and then the boss is like, uh-oh, I'm really losing here. And so they eat like 14 of those defense buff items. And so as you go through this boss, the closer you get to like the health bar of the boss, because it's the old hero, it is very big because they were super strong. But as you get closer to lowering their life total, their defense keeps going up and up and up. It's like fighting Caterpie, even though it keeps on using Harden. You will be able to kill it eventually, but it is going to be slow work. It doesn't look like slow work at first because you watch the health bar just get chunked by you.
Okay, I'm digging it. I think that's a game.
All right, that's a game, baby.
All right, dude.
One more time for the people that don't remember. I deleted the name. Hold on, I didn't write it down. The name of the game. One last time. You know, I'll reverse engineer it from the acronym that I sent you, Blake.
Not just really quickly. Just call it its little our quick name for it. It was SUCC.
I was summoned as the replacement hero. Is really what it is.
Oh, that's a fun. Okay, I feel like that's what you can put on the tin. I was summoned as a replacement hero.
No, the tin has the whole name. Don't you dare cut my art short. The tin has the whole name.
Okay. Well, I'm talking about like what the fuck are we gonna put on the top of the episode? Really? Are we putting like
at the top of the episode? I'm putting the acronym. Yeah, the acronym's going in at the top of the episode. And
People
that's
are
a
gonna
nug,
look at that
baby.
and be like, "What the fuck? Did somebody like just fucking keyboard smash and that's it?" All right, let's go to patch notes.
Let's go to patch notes. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Patch Notes. Blake and I got two quick things that we want to mention today, and that is, first and foremost, we have a merch store now. And if you want to check that out, you can click the link in the description, and any merch that you purchase right now for the first month of it being live, all of that money is going to be donated to the Able Gamers charity. Blake and I won't be taking a profit on these, it's just that we want to go ahead and donate this money to a good cause.
Yep, and
The
that's gonna
Able
be-
Gamers charity is a group that helps disabled people play video games because a lot of them need specialty controllers or specialty setups, and this charity helps that because gaming is for everybody, and this charity helps that.
Hell yeah, and we're going to be doing that till the end of June. So if you want a shirt, a sticker, or a hat, jump on in. All of that money is going to be going to a good cause. As for our Patreon members, we are doing our game night this Saturday. We are going to be playing Gartic Phone, a free-to-play game. So if you feel like you want to just jump in, hang out on voice call with us and the other lovely patrons, come check us out. We'll have a link in the description. It's only $2 a month, and you get a bunch of other little extras. Thank you guys very much for checking us out this week.
As always, our intro and outro is Cheap Shop by Anamanaguchi, an excellent song from an excellent band for an excellent game. I've been your host, AJ Hart.
And I have been your other host, Blake Rea.
This has been Spiritual Successor, and these are cool games
That should not be made.